And, I thought we got the lead. We were really efficient offensively, moving the ball, guys, playing really well together. And we had some breakdowns. Flynn passed the ball, ran to the corner. A couple times we didn't get hands up on guys. And we got cracked on a pick and roll, and they made some shots too. So some of that wasn't our breakdowns. It was a combination of some breakdowns and Detroit making plays.
Of course, you don't want to look too far ahead, but do you think tomorrow night's matchup against the Mavericks maybe played a role in some of the lack of focus and the breakdowns?
I don't think so. I thought there were stretches where we were really, we lost focus at the end of the game as well. So I don't think that we were, looking ahead to anything. I just think we weren't. We looked a little tired towards the end of the game, and we just have to. That's a time where you just have to be really sharp and crisp, especially if they're going to foul. We can't turn the ball over late and give them layups.
Thoughts on locking up at least game 83 for your team?
Say what?
Locking up game 83.
Yeah, it's always good to have an opportunity to play in the postseason. Whether you're 9th, 10th, 6th, whatever it is. And obviously, we've got some games left and see where that goes. And like, as I've said, just hopefully we can continue to get better. And, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, but it's good to know that we'll be playing.
And just thoughts when you see a guy like Malachi Flynn. His season high was 17. He goes for 50. What's going through your mind as that's going on?
Yeah, he early on, we mixed up some coverages and pick and roll on him. He was making 15-foot contested mid-range shots. I thought he got to the foul line, and that got him going a little bit more too. We tried to get more aggressive on him. After he really had it going. We were more trying to impact him a little bit, and I thought, he still made plays, but we made it a little less comfortable for him. But he played great, and obviously tip your hat to some of the plays that he made. I thought there were other ones that, maybe we could have impacted more, but nobody overlooked him. He had a hell of a game, and the ball was in his hands a lot, and he made plays.
Coach, Jaylen's first career triple-double. What was impressive was his assists. Can you just talk about how he keeps elevating his game at different levels?
Well, tonight was a stellar game, and you mentioned the assist. He just let the game come to him. There were a number of times he was just finding people. And, when you do that, and then all of a sudden, when the game was on the line, he had that pick and pop where he banged the three. He got the ball to the dots and went up strong and made a shot. He made a couple free throws. Just a lot of really good things that he did. And as I said, he took what the defense gave him. I thought, he's a basketball player. He can do all those things. He can shoot, pass, handle. And, when he's not predetermined about what he's going to do, there were so many little things that he did that won't even show up. But sometimes when someone plays that way, you really enjoy the fact that they're then rewarded on a stat sheet after the game, too, because he played a really, really impressive game.
What do you think allows him to stay connected to his teammates even through those times where he's injured?
Well, I think coming back the other night, I thought, his timing was a little off last night, or Chicago, I should say. But I also thought that he didn't pick his spots as much. There were plays. He's going to draw people, and he just made the right play all the time. It's really impressive to me. You don't see that often. First of all, it's you have to be capable of doing it for one thing, and then you have to be willing. And he was both. And I think the way he plays, he connects our team when he plays that way. And obviously he connects everybody, not just one or two guys in a possession, because sometimes he's just it's like a hockey assist too when he's making the right play, and it's infectious.
Another guy who seemed to take what the game was giving him was DeAndre. He's very efficient. I think he missed only 5 shots tonight. Just curious what you've continued to see from him throughout this season.
Yeah, he's the guy that sometimes his attempts can fluctuate. I just want him to be aggressive, and I think when he's aggressive, he's got a clear head, and again, that's where everybody sharing it, puts guys in positions where there's clarity on what their reads are, and the goal is whether you shoot it or pass it or drive it, you do it quickly, and keep an advantage in a possession, and that's what DeAndre was on the back end of that more than he has been, but just being aggressive and being confident. Obviously, I have confidence in him. I'm trying to tell him that all the time, and he's listening.
I don't know if this is necessarily a question about tonight. Just I wanted to ask you about Clint Capela. If you look at his career playing with Chris Paul and early in Trae Young's career, that he's kind of playing in the middle of the floor, a lot of pick and roll, kind of straight up the middle. It feels like this season he's more on the elbows. Is that an adjustment for him? And how does he make that adjustment? How does he see the game playing maybe from a different spot?
Well, it has to do with the way that we're playing, and put him in that situation where, there's a part of his game that is expanding, and that he's got the ball in his hands more, and his passing and dribble handoffs, and I think that role, he's still doing the things that you're talking about too, where he's rim rolling and running and those things, but. I think he's worked at that. If you see him after practice, he's down there on that end a lot of times when you guys have come in, and both he and Bruno and O have all embraced that, and that they help connect our group, in those spots as well. It gives us more variety. Okay.